Good evening, and welcome back to Future Lore, the place where history, myth, and possibility converge into stories that linger long after the lights go out. Tonight, we turn our eyes upward, not to lost empires beneath our feet, but to the silent sentinel that has hovered above humanity since the dawn of memory, the moon. For most, it is simply a natural satellite, a companion to Earth, a pale disk that waxes and wanes, guiding tides and shaping nights. But what if it is something far more deliberate? What if the moon is not natural at all, but a creation, an engineered construct, placed in orbit by powers beyond humanity's comprehension? This is not a question of idle wonder. The moon's very existence strains belief. Its size, its distance, its uncanny alignment with the sun. These are not coincidences, but precision. And when civilizations across the ages told stories of gods descending from the heavens, of luminous beings shaping destiny, of the moon as a chariot or an eye or a dwelling, were they merely imagining, or were they remembering? The coincidence that defies chance. Let us begin with what astronomers themselves quietly admit. The moon is a mathematical marvel. It is 400 times smaller than the sun, yet 400 times closer to Earth, so that both appear the same size in the sky. Without this balance, eclipses, the perfect overlap of sun and moon, would never exist. And yet they do, in perfect alignment, creating spectacles that have terrified and awed humanity for millennia. Is it luck, or is it design? The moon is also locked in synchronous rotation, always showing the same face to Earth, as though it were a watchtower turned deliberately toward us. No other body in the solar system behaves quite like it. It is as though the moon was placed there with intent, calibrated with care, to play its role as Earth's twin, mirror, and guardian. Myths of a time before the moon. Across cultures, whispers persist of an age when the moon was not there. Ancient tribes of Africa spoke of ancestors who lived before the moon appeared, describing the world as perpetual twilight until a great celestial orb was placed in the sky. In Greek lore, Arcadian legends claimed their people were pre-lunar, existing before the goddess Selene brought her lamp into the night. These are not the kinds of myths civilizations invent without cause. They are memories, distorted by time, of a world transformed by a sudden arrival. When the moon appeared, or was revealed, humanity's rhythms changed. Tides rose, nights brightened, calendars found their anchor. Agriculture, migration, and ritual began to follow lunar cycles. Civilizations bloomed under its glow. Humanity itself seemed guided, awakened, accelerated. Was this progress natural, or was it nudged, engineered, by the very presence of a satellite designed to reshape life below? The hollow world above. Modern science offers its own unsettling clues. During seismic tests conducted by Apollo missions, the moon rang, literally rang, like a bell. Vibrations echoed through its body for hours, as though it were hollow, or composed of vast chambers unlike any natural formation. Some researchers speculated at the time, was the moon a shell, a construct, a vast machine wrapped in stone? Official reports softened the language, but the data remains. The moon does not behave like any natural satellite we know. Its density is anomalously low. Its crust is curiously thin. Its orbit is suspiciously circular, far more precise than typical captured objects. Everything about it suggests engineering rather than chance. And so a question rises: if the moon was built, then by whom? Gods or engineers? In ancient Egypt, the moon was Thoth's lamp of wisdom, illuminating knowledge hidden in darkness. In Mesopotamia, it was Nana, the divine measure of time and order. For the Greeks, Selene rode it as a chariot. For the Maya, it was Ixchel, the goddess of fertility and cycles. Always, it was more than a rock. Always, it was a being, a presence, a tool of the divine. But what if these gods were not metaphorical? What if they were the engineers, the ancient beings who place the moon in orbit, embedding themselves into human culture not as abstractions, but as living collaborators? The myths would not be symbols. They would be records. Perhaps the gods who walked Egypt, Sumer, and Greece were also the architects of the moon, constructing it as a regulator of Earth's balance, a beacon of power, a platform from which to observe humanity's rise, the cosmic regulator. Without the moon, Earth would be unstable. Its axial tilt would wobble wildly, creating chaotic climates. Seasons would collapse into disorder. Life itself might struggle to endure. The moon stabilizes the Earth, ensuring calm cycles, predictable tides, balanced rhythms. It is as if someone wanted Earth to thrive, as if they created not only a machine, but a caretaker, a regulator ensuring that chaos would never overwhelm the cradle of humanity. The moon may be the greatest gift ever given, or the greatest mechanism of control ever designed. A watchtower in the sky. Imagine the moon not as barren dust, but as a hollowed structure filled with chambers, corridors, machinery, vast halls where beings of light once walked, overseeing Earth below. Observation decks aimed endlessly toward the planet, recording, studying, guiding. Perhaps they still remain, hidden in the far side never seen by human eyes, a side that has always been turned away, concealed in perpetual secrecy. If the moon is a watchtower, then humanity has always lived under its gaze, watched, measured, studied by those who placed it. Our myths would be their introductions, our gods would be their faces, our destiny would be their design. This is the story of a moon that should not exist, yet does. A moon too perfect, too aligned, too deliberate to be chance. A moon that ancient myths remembered, that modern data cannot fully explain, and that humanity has never truly understood. And so we begin. The story of Earth's closest companion, if companion is truly what it is. The story of a satellite that may not be a satellite, but a monument, a machine, a guardian, or a cage. This is future lore. This is the secret of the moon. The ancients spoke of a time when the sky was not as it is now. They looked upward and saw stars, the sun, and the great arch of the heavens, but no moon. To us, such an idea sounds impossible. To them, it was memory. The people of the pre-lunar world. The Chibcha of Colombia told stories of an era before the moon, when their ancestors lived in perpetual twilight. In Greece, the Arcadians claimed their lineage stretched back to a time before Selene, the moon goddess, first rose in the heavens. In Africa, Zulu traditions recalled how two brothers, Wawene and Mpanku, stole the moon from a fiery furnace and placed it in the sky, bringing tides and balance where once there had been none. What connects these myths is not imagination, but witness. Different peoples, separated by continents and oceans, remembered the same thing: a world transformed when a new light appeared in the heavens. And what is memory, if not record? The day the sky changed. Imagine the Earth before the moon's arrival. Days and nights existed, but nights were deep and absolute. Without a stabilizing satellite, the planet's axis wobbled, climates shifted unpredictably, and seas surged in uneven rhythms. Humanity endured, but it was a harsher existence. Then came a day, or a series of nights, when everything changed. A great light appeared, growing larger as if approaching from beyond. Tribes stood in awe as the orb moved into position. Some said gods towed it like a vessel. Others said it was birthed from the sun itself. But all agreed. The moon arrived, and the world was never the same. The moon as a gift. To many, the moon was seen as a divine offering. The Mayans called it Ixchel, the goddess of fertility, whose presence made crops flourish. The Egyptians tied it to Thoth, master of time and measure, who brought order where chaos once reigned. In Mesopotamia, it was Nana, the calendar of kings, the light by which empires timed their reigns. If gods placed the moon in orbit, then its purpose was clear: to stabilize, to nurture, to regulate life. It was a seed of order sown into the sky, ensuring humanity's rise. The moon as a machine. But not all myths spoke of blessing. Some warned of surveillance. The Dogon of Mali described the moon as a vessel, a hollow thing that housed watchers. They believed beings from Sirius placed it deliberately, aligning Earth with cosmic rhythms while also observing the humans below. And even in distant Asia, Chinese myths of Chang'e, the goddess who dwelled within the moon, hinted not at stone, but at habitation. To say a goddess lived inside was not to tell a story. It was to explain what ancestors saw: light within, movement across the surface, shadows that suggested activity. The moon was not only a lamp, it was a presence. The world rewritten. With the moon's placement, Earth's axis steadied. Seasons became regular. Tides followed predictable patterns. The night no longer belonged solely to darkness, but to a pale guardian. Agriculture flourished. Calendars emerged, and the first great civilizations began to rise. It was not evolution by accident. It was acceleration by design. Humanity, once surviving in chaos, suddenly thrived under order. The moon was not a background object. It was the foundation of human history, engineered to bring civilization itself into being. Memory in stone and story. Ancient builders encoded this truth into monuments. The stones of Stonehenge align not only with the sun, but with the moon's cycles. Temples in Egypt tracked its phases, linking them to rituals of life and death. In the Americas, structures mirrored lunar alignments so precise they rival modern calculations. These were not coincidences, they were acknowledgements. Humanity was not worshipping a natural rock, but honoring the machine that made civilization possible. The myths that survived, of gods placing the moon, of people who lived before its arrival, are fragments of truth. They tell us that the moon is not eternal. It is positioned. It is deliberate. It is creation, not accident. The silent witness. Since that day of placement, the moon has never left its station. Always one face turned toward Earth. Always its gaze fixed. Always its cycles guiding our lives. We measure months by it. We count years by its eclipses. We dream by its light. And all the while, it hangs silently above, steady, unwavering, eternal in its watch. To the ancients, this was comfort. To us, it should be a question. For if the moon was brought here, if it was built and placed, then by whom and why? This is not merely myth, it is memory. Memory written in story, etched in stone, encoded in cycles. Memory of a world before the moon and of the day gods or beings rewrote the sky itself. The moon did not just appear, it was delivered. When we look at the moon, it feels ordinary, a pale orb, circling quietly above. Yet hidden within its presence are numbers so exact, so improbable, that chance alone cannot explain them. If the moon is a creation, its design is revealed not in myths alone, but in mathematics. The perfect ratio. Consider the most famous coincidence. The moon is 400 times smaller than the sun, yet 400 times closer to Earth. This makes the sun and moon appear exactly the same size in our sky. The result is the total solar eclipse, when the moon covers the sun in perfect symmetry. No other pairing in our solar system produces such a phenomenon. Not Mars with its tiny moons, not Jupiter with its dozens, not Saturn, not Neptune. Only Earth and only our moon give us this perfect balance. Coincidence or calibration? If gods or ancient engineers wished to mark Earth as special, to signal its uniqueness, they could not have chosen a more dramatic design. A moon-sized and placed with such precision that it mirrors the sun itself. The locked face. The moon rotates, but always at the same pace it orbits Earth. This means we see only one face, forever. The far side is hidden, a mystery until modern spacecraft revealed it. Synchronous rotation is possible naturally, but the moon's case is uncanny. Its lock is exact, its face unwavering. It is as if it were engineered to act as a watchtower, always observing, always turned toward the planet below. What natural satellite chooses to show one face for eternity? What machine is more efficient than one built to gaze without pause? The circular orbit. Most moons travel in elliptical paths, wobbling slightly as they go. Earth's moon, however, is nearly perfect in its orbit, remarkably circular, maintaining distance with stability. Such precision defies the expected chaos of captured bodies. Astronomers once speculated the moon was formed from Earth's crust or captured from space, but its orbit does not fit capture theory, and its composition does not fully match Earth's. It sits too neatly, too precisely, as though placed. The moon's path is less accident, more architecture, the hollow signature. When Apollo astronauts set off seismic charges on the moon, its vibrations rang for hours. Like a bell, scientists said. This is not how natural satellites respond. The resonance suggested hollowness, or vast internal chambers. Could it be that the moon is not solid, but a shell? Could its interior be a framework, a machine, a labyrinth of chambers, once occupied by builders? Engineers on Earth know hollow shells are efficient, lighter, easier to maneuver, stable in orbit. Was the moon designed in the same way? A shell of stone wrapped around machinery? The ratios of design. The moon's numbers repeat in eerie ways. The moon is 1/81st the mass of Earth. Its diameter is almost exactly 1/4 of Earth's. The distance between Earth and Moon is about 30 Earth diameters, an almost perfect scaling. These ratios echo simplicity, elegance, and symmetry. They are the fingerprints of design. Nature often produces chaos. Engineers favor proportion. The moon reflects the latter. The eclipses as messages. If eclipses are not accidents but intended phenomena, then their purpose must be considered. When the moon slides across the sun, humanity is reminded of symmetry, balance, perfection. Ancient civilizations treated eclipses as sacred. Priests in Egypt, Babylon, and China studied them, seeing in their geometry the language of gods. Perhaps the gods intended this. Perhaps the moon was placed not only to regulate tides and seasons, but to speak mathematically to those who watched. A cosmic reminder that order rules above chaos, that Earth itself is marked as chosen. A silent engine. If we view the moon not as rock, but as mechanism, then its mathematics are not random. They are specifications. Distance, size, orbit, resonance, each parameter tuned like a gear in a machine. The moon may be the largest artifact humanity has ever known, and we live beneath its steady function. Its purpose? To stabilize Earth, to regulate tides, to inspire awe, and perhaps, above all else, to remind humanity that it is not alone. A cosmic signature. The ancients believed gods left their marks in stone, in river, in sky. But what greater signature could they leave than the moon itself? Placed with care, aligned with elegance, tuned to perfection, it is both tool and message. A cosmic inscription, written not in words, but in ratios and cycles, visible to all who care to look. And perhaps that was always the intention, that one day, as humanity advanced, it would measure, calculate, and realize that what it saw above could not be an accident, that the moon itself is the message. The moon appears cold, silent, and lifeless. But when we peel back the veil of dust and stone, another image emerges, that of a vast, deliberate construction, hollowed and engineered, a machine designed for functions far beyond human understanding. The bell that should not ring. In 1969, during Apollo 12, astronauts detonated a spent rocket stage upon the moon's surface. Instruments recorded the aftermath. The moon vibrated not for minutes, but for nearly an hour. Later, missions repeated the experiment, and the ringing continued even longer, over 3 hours. This is not the behavior of solid rock. It is the signature of resonance, of hollowness, of an internal structure that conducts vibration like a bell. What if this was no accident of geology? What if the moon's core is not molten metal, but chambers, engineered spaces, frameworks, perhaps even machinery hidden within? The hollow hypothesis. The moon's density is lower than expected, too low for a body its size. Its crust is strangely thin, its distribution of mass irregular. Scientists puzzle, but the anomalies point toward one conclusion. The moon is not fully natural. Imagine a shell of stone wrapped around scaffolding of alien design. Imagine corridors stretching for miles, maintenance bays, power chambers, resonance halls humming faintly with energy. The craters we see might not be scars of chance impacts, but deliberate coverings of deeper structures. If the moon is hollow, then it is not a satellite. It is a vessel, a celestial vessel. Think of the scale. The moon's diameter is over 3,400 kilometers. If hollow, its interior could house civilizations. Cities could stretch across cavernous plains. Engines could hum, unseen, stabilizing orbit and regulating Earth below. Could it be that the moon is not just an orbiting body, but a ship? A colossal ark placed in orbit, its purpose to watch, to regulate, to serve as bridge between stars and Earth. Perhaps it once traveled here, piloted by beings we later called gods. Perhaps it still functions, even if its crew is gone, its systems running on automated cycles, like a beacon left to watch humanity. Evidence in shadows. Astronomers have observed flashes of light on the lunar surface, transient lunar phenomena, recorded for centuries. Strange glows, moving lights, temporary color shifts. Some dismiss them as dust clouds, others as imagination. But what if they are signs of activity, glimpses of systems still alive within the shell? Even Apollo astronauts spoke of glows on the horizon, of odd reflections, of the sense that they were not alone. Radio transmissions crackled with unexplained interference. Photographs revealed anomalies quickly filed away, hidden from the public. If the moon is a machine, then it is not silent. It breathes, glows, hums in ways we only half perceive. Chambers of the gods. Ancient myths told of the moon as a dwelling. The Maya believed deities lived inside it. The Chinese told of Chang'e, the goddess residing within its halls. African tribes said it was hollow, home to watchers. These were not fanciful images. They were descriptions of truth. Memory passed into myth. Humans looked upward and somehow knew. The moon was not stone alone. It was inhabited. The gods of antiquity may not have lived only on earth. They may have dwelled above, within the hollow chambers of their celestial construct, descending when they chose, retreating when they willed, always watching. The machinery of resonance. If the moon is a machine, then its functions must be immense. Perhaps its greatest role is stabilizing Earth's tilt, protecting climate and seasons. But could there be more? Some speculate it regulates tides deliberately, ensuring cycles of fertility along rivers, guiding agriculture, feeding civilizations. Others wonder if it broadcasts subtle frequencies, waves of energy that influence biology, behavior, even consciousness. It may be no coincidence that human rituals, myths, and even cycles of the body align so tightly with the moon. Its phases govern fertility, moods, sleep, tides of the sea and of the mind. Perhaps this is its purpose, to weave human life into harmony with the cosmos, an unseen program running endlessly from above. The silent side. We speak of the far side of the moon as the dark side, though it is bathed in sunlight half the time. But it is dark to us, hidden, turned away forever. What lies there? Craters unscarred by Earth's gaze, plains unphotographed for millennia. If the moon houses secrets, the far side is where they remain. Observation decks, docking bays, transmission towers, entire complexes invisible to the planet below. The gods, if they lived within, would have made the far side their sanctuary, forever shielded from human eyes. And to this day, it remains the most mysterious terrain in our solar system. A machine forgotten, or a machine waiting? If the moon is an artifact, then two possibilities remain. Either it is forgotten, abandoned by its makers, left to orbit as a relic, or it is still active, still functioning, still carrying out its ancient program. Perhaps its purpose is guardianship, perhaps surveillance, perhaps regulation, perhaps it is waiting for humanity to advance, to ascend, to finally recognize what has always been above us. The moon may not be barren stone. It may be the greatest machine we have ever known, ancient, vast, deliberate and alive with mystery. The moon has always been more than a light in the sky. To humanity, it was a presence, sacred, watchful, alive. Every culture, every era, every language has woven stories around it. These myths were not fanciful inventions. They were echoes of recognition, intuitive memories that the moon was not ordinary stone, but a creation, a dwelling, a force deliberately placed above the earth. The moon as a god. In Mesopotamia, the moon was Nana, father of the gods, a luminous regulator of time. In Egypt, it was Thoth, the divine measurer, whose cycles taught humankind how to count, record, and govern. In Greece, Selene drove her chariot across the night, perfect in her motion. Among the Maya, Ixchel ruled fertility and medicine, her phases guiding crops and womb alike. In every tradition, the moon was personified. It was not it, but he or she. Not stone, but being. This was not poetic fancy. It was how ancient peoples expressed their knowledge. They understood the moon as alive with purpose, the work of intelligent design. Ritual under moonlight. Night after night, the moon dictated the rhythm of ritual. Priests watched its phases to time ceremonies. Farmers planted when its crescent rose. Builders laid stones at full moon, believing alignment with its glow brought stability. But beneath ritual was recognition. The moon cycles were too precise, too reliable. Its presence was steady, its movements calculable to the day. This was the behavior of a machine, not a chance body. Humans responded with reverence, shaping their lives to its deliberate pattern. Feasts, sacrifices, and processions under its glow were not mere worship. They were acknowledgement of its authority, of its role as regulator of both heaven and earth. The moon and the body, even the human body, responded to the moon. Women's cycles mirrored its 29.5-day rhythm, tying fertility to the satellite's phases. Fishermen learned that tides rose and fell with lunar pull. Sleep deepened or grew restless depending on its fullness. This was not imagination. It was biology shaped by the moon's program. The machine above regulated not only Earth's tilt and tides, but humanity itself. It synchronized life to its cycle, embedding its pattern into flesh and spirit alike. Myths of descent and dwelling. Across cultures, myths told of beings who lived within the moon. Chinese legends spoke of Chang'e, dwelling eternally in lunar halls. Native American tribes described a man banished to the moon, visible in its markings. The Maya believed it was home to gods who visited Earth with medicine and guidance. These stories sound symbolic to us. To the ancients, they were literal. They had no word for artificial satellite or machine, so they called it a god's dwelling, a divine home. Their myths were translations of fact into image. The moon as judge. Many cultures feared the full moon, seeing in its brightness the eye of judgment. Madness, transformation, and reckoning were tied to its light. Wolves howled, men grew restless, women dreamed vividly. The moon, they believed, saw everything, revealing what darkness tried to hide. If the moon were a watchtower, this fear was justified. Its light was not only illumination but observation. Its face always turned to earth, unblinking, eternal. Humanity instinctively sensed its surveillance and responded with awe and dread. Stone mirrors of the sky. Ancient builders captured the moon's presence in stone. Stonehenge, aligned to lunar standstills, marking not only the sun's path, but the moon's extremes. Temples in Egypt, aligned to Sirius, also reflected lunar cycles, linking the rhythms of heaven in unified design. In Central America, Pyramids tracked lunar eclipses, recording them with precision still admired by astronomers. These structures were not primitive calendars, they were acknowledgements that humanity's builders understood. The moon's design was central to Earth's order. They built monuments not to the moon's beauty, but to its function. They were saluting the machine above, festivals of light and shadow. When eclipses occurred, civilizations trembled. Priests prepared offerings, dancers performed rites, people fell to their knees. To see the sun blotted out by the moon in perfect proportion was to witness the hand of the divine. They did not see coincidence. They saw design. The moon was proving itself, showing humanity that its role was deliberate, its placement intentional. Eclipses were ceremonies not of chaos but of affirmation. The heavens were engineered, and Earth was the stage. Memory passed as myth. To later generations, the truth blurred. The moon became a goddess, a lantern, a symbol of cycles. But buried within every myth was memory, that the moon was not born of chance, but of will. The ancients did not invent gods of the moon to explain ignorance. They described gods of the moon because they remembered its arrival, its influence, its unnatural perfection. Their myths were history encoded in story, truth preserved in metaphor. A silent covenant. Humanity's relationship with the moon was not passive, it was covenant. The moon offered stability, order, cycles of life. In return, humanity offered reverence, ritual, and memory. This unspoken pact endured for millennia. Even today, when science reduces the moon to rock, we still feel its influence. Lovers seek it. Poets write of it. Dreamers lose themselves in its glow. The instinct remains, buried but unbroken. We know deep within that the moon is not what it seems. The moon was never merely background. It was central, deliberate, revered not only for its light, but for its design. And so humanity lived, century after century, in ritual relationship with the machine above, forgetting its nature, but never forgetting its power. From the first moment it appeared in Earth's sky, the moon has done far more than inspire myth and ritual. It has governed, shaped, and sustained the very balance of life itself. Without it, Earth would be chaos. With it, the planet became a cradle. If the moon is a machine, then its greatest purpose is not beauty or symbolism, but regulation, ensuring that Earth remains habitable, steady, and fertile. The axis of balance. Earth does not spin upright. Its axis tilts, currently at about 23.5 degrees. That tilt creates the seasons, giving rise to cycles of planting, harvest, and rest. Yet without the moon, the axis would wobble uncontrollably. Winds would shift, climates would collapse, ice ages and heat waves would roll unpredictably across the globe. The moon prevents this. Its gravitational grip steadies the tilt, keeping the planet in rhythmic alignment. It is as if the moon were a gyroscope, carefully calibrated, endlessly correcting Earth's spin to ensure stability. No other known planet enjoys such balance. Mars, without a stabilizing moon, endures chaotic swings in tilt, plunging its climate into extremes. Earth is different because the moon is there. This is not coincidence. This is regulation, the breath of the sea. The tides are the moon's second great gift. Twice daily, oceans rise and fall under its pull. This constant motion oxygenates coastlines, feeds marine ecosystems, and sculpts fertile deltas. Without tides, the sea would stagnate, and life along the shore might never have flourished. In ancient times, Humans learned to fish by lunar rhythms. Crops near rivers thrived by the tidal pulse. Traders and sailors used tides as natural engines, carrying vessels into harbors or out to sea. Civilization itself rode the moon's breath. If the moon were a regulator, tides would be one of its primary functions, pumping life into the edges of continents, ensuring fertility and abundance. The acceleration of evolution. Scientists wonder, why did life on Earth evolve so rapidly into complexity? Some suggest that tidal pools, formed by the moon's pull, were laboratories for creation. As waters rose and fell, organic compounds concentrated, dried and rehydrated, sparking chains of chemistry that birthed the first living cells. Later, creatures crawled from tidal zones onto land, adapting to rhythms of wet and dry. The moon's cycles pushed life to evolve, to adapt, to grow. If the moon was engineered, then evolution itself was accelerated by its design. Humanity is not only child of Earth, but of the moon's deliberate regulation. The calendar of time. Civilizations measured life not only by the sun, but by the moon. Its cycles gave us months, rituals, calendars, festivals of sowing and reaping, of birth and death, of order and renewal. All followed its phases. But beneath this culture was a program. The moon provided a clock, ensuring humans lived in harmony with cosmic rhythm. Its cycle of 29.5 days mirrored human biology, women's fertility, and the growth of crops. It was not simply measurement, it was synchronization. The moon was humanity's first clock, its first regulator of time, shaping societies into organized rhythm, guardian against chaos. The moon does more than stabilize. It protects. Its gravity shields Earth from excessive asteroid strikes, altering the paths of objects that might otherwise devastate the planet. Its presence absorbs impacts, sparing Earth catastrophe. Craters on the moon's face are scars of its service, proof of its guardianship. It is as though the moon was placed as a shield, interposing itself between Earth and cosmic threats. A sentinel not only watching, but defending. A machine of cycles. Taken together, the moon's roles are not random benefits. They are functions of a system stabilizing tilt to preserve climate, driving tides to oxygenate seas and fertilize coasts, accelerating evolution through tidal pools and rhythms, providing time through phases and cycles, protecting Earth from cosmic impacts. Every function supports life. Every role nurtures civilization. The moon is not passive stone. It is an active system, regulating Earth like a machine designed to sustain and protect. Myths as memory of regulation. Ancient cultures sensed this. The moon was not only worshipped for beauty, but for its power to govern. Priests in Babylon used its phases to predict floods. Egyptians linked its cycles to fertility and death. The Greeks spoke of Selene's control over tides and madness. These were not superstitions. They were acknowledgements of the moon's role as regulator. Humanity did not need telescopes to know the truth. They lived it daily. Their bodies, crops, and calendars attuned to the machine above. The cosmic program. If the moon is artificial, then its programming is clear. Create stability, sustain life, accelerate growth, and shield the world. It is a caretaker, a regulator, perhaps even a guardian designed to ensure Earth becomes not chaos, but civilization. And if that is true, then humanity is not merely a species that evolved under chance. It is the result of a deliberate design, nurtured by a satellite built to serve as cradle and clock. The moon is not simply Earth's companion, it is Earth's regulator. Without it, we would not be here. With it, we rise, thrive, and remember, dimly through myths and numbers, that it was placed above us with purpose. If the moon is not natural, then the question is no longer what it is, but who built it? A hollow shell, a resonant machine, a regulator of Earth's balance. These are the signatures of engineers, not chance. The moon is a monument not only to design but to its designers. The cosmic architects. Ancient myths name them as gods. To Sumerians they were the Anunnaki, descending from the heavens to shape life. To Egyptians they were the Netjeru, radiant beings who brought knowledge of the stars. In Greece they were the Titans, builders of cosmic order. These names are not metaphors, they are fragments of memory, attempts to describe beings so advanced that their tools appeared divine. Humanity called them gods because no other word sufficed, but in truth they were builders, architects who possessed the knowledge to craft worlds, the engineering of a satellite. The moon's construction reveals intelligence. Its crust is thin, as if designed to mask inner chambers. Its density is low, suggesting hollowness. Its orbit is impossibly stable, tuned like a precision instrument. This is not nature, it is architecture. To create such a structure would require mastery over materials, gravity, and energy beyond anything humanity imagines. Entire civilizations must have labored, or perhaps machines alone. Vast forges shaping stone into shell, reactors igniting to stabilize orbit. The builders were not amateurs. They were engineers of planets, purpose beyond coincidence. Why would such beings build a satellite and place it around Earth? Three purposes emerge. Regulation of life. The moon stabilizes Earth's tilt, regulates tides, and accelerates evolution. Its builders may have seeded Earth deliberately, creating an environment where life would flourish. The moon was the incubator. Observation and control. With its one face locked to Earth, the moon functions as a watchtower. The builders ensured constant surveillance, perhaps guiding civilizations, perhaps guarding them. Humanity has always been watched. Symbol and signal. The moon's perfect alignment with the sun is too precise to be accident. It may be a message, a signature left by its architects. You are not alone. You were designed. Myths as testimony. Consider again the myths. The Zulu said, 2 brothers placed the moon in the sky. The Greeks said Selene drove it as a chariot. The Maya said gods lived within. These are not inconsistent. They are cultural echoes of a truth. The moon was placed by hands not of Earth. Humanity, unable to record the technology, remembered the act in story. Gods dragging the moon into the heavens, beings living within its shell, a divine chariot turning endlessly above. These myths are history told in symbols. The builder's legacy. If the moon was built, then Earth is not an isolated accident of life. It is part of a program. The builders may have crafted other worlds, seeded other systems, constructed other machines to regulate life across the cosmos. The moon is not only a machine, it is evidence. It proves that intelligence older and greater than humanity shaped our destiny. Every night it hangs above us, reminder and monument, silent yet undeniable. Who were they? Were the builders the same gods who walked among Egyptians, Sumerians, and Maya? Were they beings of flesh and light, cohabiting with humanity? Or were they far older, long gone, their work left running on automation? Perhaps they are remembered in statues with falcon heads and jackal faces, in myths of titans and sky gods. Or perhaps they never revealed themselves directly, leaving only their machine in orbit as their ambassador. The moon itself is their face, the mask they left for us to see. The question of return. If the moon was built, then its builders were capable of feats beyond comprehension. To place such a construct in orbit required intention. To leave it functioning for billions of years required foresight. Are they gone, or do they remain, hidden within, waiting? Perhaps the far side holds their chambers. Perhaps the echoes of lunar ringing are their engines still humming. Perhaps the lights seen upon its surface are not anomalies, but traces of continued presence. The moon may not be abandoned, it may be inhabited. The moon is not only a machine, it is a monument, a regulator, a watchtower, and above all, it is proof. Humanity is not alone. It has never been alone. Every myth, every ritual, every calculation has whispered the same truth. The moon was built. The question that remains is not if, but by whom and why. If the moon is an artifact, then its orbit around Earth is no accident. The builders did not scatter machines randomly across the cosmos. They selected this world, positioned their construct with precision, and by doing so, determined humanity's fate. The moon is not simply above us, it is the reason we are here. A planet prepared. Earth is rare, a world of water, atmosphere, and fertile soil. Yet without the moon, its blessings might never have endured. Other planets with oceans, Mars, Venus, lost stability, climates collapsing into chaos. Earth was different because the moon anchored it. This cannot be coincidence. The builders saw a world of potential, but fragile. They placed the moon as stabilizer, shield, and catalyst, transforming Earth from possibility into certainty. They chose Earth as cradle. Evolution under the machine. The moon's cycles did more than shape tides. They shaped life itself. In tidal pools, water rose and fell, concentrating molecules into dense solutions. Sunlight baked them, then tides returned, mixing them again. This repeated endlessly, day after day, cycle after cycle, until chemistry became biology. Later, the moon's light guided migrations of animals, birds, turtles, fish, all oriented by lunar glow. Fertility across countless species aligned to its rhythm. Even humans, long before science lived by its calendar. If the moon was built, then it was not passive. It was active, guiding evolution like a program running overhead, pushing life toward complexity, toward intelligence. The dawn of civilization. As humanity rose, the moon became the first clock. Its phases measured months, its eclipses foretold cycles, its glow enabled travel by night. Farmers planted by it, priests tracked it, builders aligned temples to it. Civilization itself, agriculture, writing, architecture, grew in synchronization with lunar cycles. Every great culture honored it, not out of superstition, but because they knew life itself was tied to it. If gods walked Earth, teaching humans arts and laws, then the moon was their companion above, the cosmic pillar of their project. Earth as laboratory. The placement of the moon suggests intent beyond nurture. Earth may have been selected as laboratory, humanity as experiment. The moon, then, was not only regulator, but overseer, ensuring conditions remained ideal. Perhaps the builders seeded life directly, releasing genetic codes into the seas. Perhaps they guided its progression subtly, through energies broadcast from the lunar machine. Humanity may not be entirely natural, it may be co-created, a species engineered in partnership between Earth's environment and the Moon's design. The builder's signature. Why the perfect ratios? Why the precise alignments? The builders left a message encoded in mathematics. A sun 400 times larger than the moon 400 times closer, eclipses flawless in symmetry. This is no accident. It is a cosmic calling card. You were chosen. You were shaped. Civilizations that studied the heavens glimpsed this truth. Priests of Babylon, scribes of Egypt, astronomers of Maya. They understood the moon was not merely a lamp, but a lawgiver. They recorded it in myth, not as fable, but as testimony. Humanity's forgotten memory. Over millennia, knowledge blurred. Myths became stories, rituals became tradition, and the truth was buried beneath time. Humanity forgot that it had been shaped by a machine. Yet the instinct remains. Lovers still seek the moon. Poets still write of it. Children still dream beneath it. Somewhere deep, we remember. Why Earth? If builders traversed stars, why Earth among countless worlds? Perhaps Earth was unique in its balance of land and sea. Perhaps it lay within a corridor of stability, rare across galaxies. Or perhaps Earth was chosen because humanity itself was intended, designed, and nurtured. The moon was not placed at random. Earth was selected, and the moon ensured the experiment would succeed. The hidden question. If Earth was chosen and humanity shaped, then the builders had purpose. Was it benevolence, creating a world of flourishing? Was it curiosity, observing a species evolve? Or was it guardianship, protecting Earth as a seed of something greater? The moon is their answer, written above our heads. It tells us, you are not alone, you are not accidental, and you were never beyond our gaze. The moon is not merely orbiting Earth, it defines Earth. It defines us, and by its presence, it whispers of the hands that placed it, the architects of life, the silent companions of our rise. If the moon was built, then it was not only to regulate Earth's balance or accelerate life. It was also positioned as a station, an observatory, a watchtower, and perhaps even a control hub. Always facing Earth, always steady in its gaze, it functions like a sentinel, watching everything below. The locked gaze. The moon's synchronous rotation ensures one hemisphere is forever turned toward Earth. To science, this is coincidence. To design, it is intent. No other orientation would allow such constant surveillance. Every continent, every ocean, every civilization lies under the same eternal face. It is as if the builders set it in the heavens as an eye, unblinking, unmoving, always observing. Humanity has lived its entire existence beneath this gaze, never out of sight. Chambers of observation. If the moon is hollow, its inner spaces could house vast observatories. Imagine halls filled with crystalline lenses and instruments beyond our imagination, scanning Earth's surface, tracking weather, migration, construction, and war. The ancients spoke of gods who always knew, who saw deeds in secret, who judged without error. How could they have known such certainty unless their gods observed them from above? Myths of divine omniscience may not have been superstition. They may have been reports of reality. Signals across the stars. The moon may not only watch, it may transmit. Its orbit provides the perfect relay point, a station between Earth and the wider cosmos. From its hidden far side, unseen from Earth, transmissions could leap into space, carrying updates, reports, and perhaps even instructions. If the moon is a machine, then Earth has never been isolated. Humanity's progress, struggles, and achievements may have been recorded and shared across the stars for as long as the moon has hung in the sky. Influence from above. Observation alone may not have been the moon's only role. Myths of gods whispering into dreams, of deities guiding kings, of visions under moonlight. These could be memories of influence. Perhaps the moon projected frequencies, subtle enough to affect thought and behavior, cycles of fertility, tides of emotion, phases of madness, all may be echoes of its invisible influence. The word lunacy, born of the moon, may reflect more than folklore. It may be proof of the machine's ability to touch the human mind. The far side's secrets. When humanity finally saw the far side of the moon, it found a land of endless craters and rough terrain. But what if those features conceal more than geology? What if behind them lie structures, bases, towers? The far side is the perfect hiding place, forever hidden from Earth's eyes. If the builders remain, or if automated systems still function, they would be there, beyond reach, beyond sight, continuing their work while humanity looks up at a barren mask. Testimony in myth. Cultures across the world describe the moon not only as a god, but as an overseer. The Inca believed it judged the actions of mortals. The Greeks imagined it watching lovers and warriors alike. In India, Chandra was a deity who marked the passage of time and oversaw human destiny. These were not idle stories, they were acknowledgments of a truth felt instinctively. The moon is not passive. It watches, it knows, it records. Humanity under observation. From the first campfires to the first pyramids, from battles to coronations, from whispers of lovers to cries of kings, the moon has been present, recording. Humanity has grown, believing itself free, yet always under the eye of the machine above. If this was the builder's intent, then Earth is not merely a planet. It is a stage, and the moon is the theatre's overseer, ensuring the play unfolds as written. The silent controllers. The greatest mystery is not whether the moon observes, but whether it controls. Did it shape not only Earth's tides and tilt, but its destiny? Has humanity's history been subtly nudged by forces above? Wars prolonged, empires guided, prophets inspired, all while the moon hung silently, the machine of the gods directing the flow of time. To the ancients, this was natural. To us, it is unsettling. Yet the truth may be this: the moon is not only Earth's regulator, it is Earth's watchtower, placed to see, to transmit, to influence, and its gaze has never faltered. The moon is not a companion. It is an overseer, a station placed by beings unknown, recording every breath of Earth's story. And we, humanity, are its subject. If the moon is not a natural body, then its surface is only a mask. Beneath the dust, beneath the craters, beneath the thin shell of rock, lies something else, a hollow interior, vast enough to house chambers, engines, and systems that have operated for eons. Humanity has only ever walked upon its skin. The truth lies within, the echo of hollowness. When Apollo missions struck the moon with seismic equipment, It rang like a bell. Scientists noted the vibrations lasted far longer than expected, as though the moon were a hollow shell. Official explanations dismissed it, but to those who know, it was confirmation. The moon is a machine. No natural body resonates like that. It vibrates like engineered metal. It responds like architecture. Inside there must be layers of supports, conduits, and chambers, an interior built for function. The power source. A machine of this scale requires power, not for decades, but for billions of years. What sustains it? Perhaps deep within lie reactors drawing on zero-point energy, or crystalline cores tapping the quantum vacuum. Perhaps the builders mastered fusion long before stars themselves, creating artificial suns within planetary shells. The glow of the moon's surface during certain events, the strange transient lights reported by astronomers, may be evidence of this energy leaking, like sparks from an ancient engine still humming. Vast halls and inner cities. Imagine entering the moon through a hidden shaft. Dust falls away as doors unseen for millennia creak open. Beyond lies not emptiness, but immensity, halls stretching for miles, lit by faint radiant panels, air recycled by forgotten machines. Walkways spiral down into depths. Crystalline structures rise like frozen lightning, conduits pulsing with faint light. At the center, a core thrums like a heartbeat. The moon is not dead. It is alive with power. Could entire cities exist inside? Habitats for the builders? Laboratories where life on Earth was monitored? Vaults where knowledge older than humanity is stored? The interior of the moon could hold more history than Earth itself. Automated guardians. If the builders have departed, their machines may remain. Self-repairing drones, crystalline sentinels, biomechanical guardians designed to protect the core. Sightings of strange lights moving across the surface could be patrols. Fragments of a defense system still active, still following ancient commands. The moon may not only be hollow, it may be inhabited, not by flesh and blood, but by the machine minds of its creators, programmed to maintain their station until the end of time. A library of creation. If the moon shaped Earth's evolution, its interior may hold the record. Every genetic shift, every climate fluctuation, every birth of species catalogued and stored. Imagine a chamber of crystalline archives, humming softly, recording still. The myths of gods with infinite knowledge may not be exaggerations. They may be echoes of humans once shown glimpses of this archive. Revelations so overwhelming, they became the foundation of religion. The moon could hold the entire history of Earth, unfiltered, unaltered, preserved within the walls of its machine. The chamber of builders. Deeper still, perhaps there is more than archive. Perhaps there are remnants of the builders themselves, not living in flesh, but preserved in stasis, suspended in fields of energy. Beings waiting to awaken, or perhaps only their consciousness stored in crystalline arrays, their minds merged with the machine. If so, then the moon is not only a station, it is a tomb, or a seed. The builders may yet stir, and humanity may not be alone for long. A machine that breathes. Every phase, every eclipse, every cycle may not be random. They may be functions of the machine itself, like gears turning, programs running, signals timed. Humanity has mistaken rhythm for beauty, but it may be utility. The moon waxes, wanes, eclipses, like an engine breathing, regulating energy between Earth and cosmos. We see poetry, The builders designed function, humanity at the threshold. The greatest question: what happens if we enter? If humanity pierces its shell and steps into its heart, what will we find? Knowledge to elevate us, or truths that shatter us? Perhaps the builders anticipated this. Perhaps they left messages for when humanity was ready. Or perhaps they locked their halls, knowing curiosity would come too soon. The moon is not silent. It waits. Its hum is the sound of time, patient and eternal. And inside, it holds the story not only of itself, but of us. The moon is not rock. It is not dead. It is not natural. It is interior and engine, chamber and core. It is alive with purpose, waiting for us to discover its truth. If the moon is a machine, hollow and alive with power, then humanity has not only gazed upon it, it has heard it, it has felt it, and in rare moments across history, certain individuals may have entered communion with the intelligence within. Whispers across the ages. From the earliest civilizations, rulers claimed divine authority under the moon's gaze. Kings of Ur, pharaohs of Egypt, priests of Babylon, they all spoke of voices that guided them, visions descending in silver light. Were these hallucinations, or were they transmissions? Beams of energy cast down from the moon's chambers, reaching the receptive, planting images, commands, inspiration. When a prophet declared laws from heaven, when a priest drew sacred calendars from lunar cycles, perhaps they were not imagining, they were receiving. Priests of the Silver Gate. In Egypt, priests aligned temples not only with the sun, but with the moon. They spoke of a silver gate through which gods communicated. Offerings were left on nights of full light, when the veil was thin. What if those rituals were not superstition, but calibration, ceremonies that aligned human consciousness with the moon's frequency? Priests may have been trained as receivers, their chants harmonizing minds with signals from above. The gods they described, Thoth, Isis, Khonsu, may have been avatars of lunar intelligence, not beings of flesh walking earth, but transmissions of mind, projections from within the moon itself. Kings as chosen receivers. Consider the pattern. Rulers claiming descent from gods, visions at night, dreams of shining beings who gifted wisdom. Alexander said a silver god guided his conquests. Pharaohs declared the moon revealed their divine right. Sumerian tablets speak of gods who measured kingship from the heavens. If the moon was watchtower and archive, then selecting leaders may have been part of its function. The builders, or their machine, chose emissaries to guide civilization, ensuring humanity followed its intended course. History remembers them as chosen of the gods. In truth, they may have been chosen by the machine. The dreamers. Even outside royalty, mystics and poets described encounters with the moon. Shamans spoke of leaving their bodies to fly to it, of entering shining halls and speaking with beings of light. Modern psychology dismisses this as imagination. But if the moon broadcasts, if its chambers emit signals tuned to human minds, then altered states, through ritual, trance, or dream, may have been access points. Shamans may have walked the corridors of the moon in vision, their minds drawn into its memory banks, their souls temporarily housed in its halls. They returned with knowledge impossible for their time. Star maps, medicinal insights, prophecies of cycles. The moon itself may have been their teacher. Lost knowledge, hidden truth. Why does every ancient culture revere the moon? Why calendars, rituals, myths, and gods tied to it? Because beneath the stories lies a truth. Humanity has always been in dialogue with the machine above. But that dialogue was never equal. The moon gave, humanity received. What knowledge was withheld? What commands were issued unseen? Wars may have been stoked, cities guided, prophets inspired, not by imagination, but by the silent presence orbiting above. The moon may have shaped not only tides and biology, but history itself, the hidden chambers of contact. If priests and kings once communed with the moon, perhaps some were taken further. Legends of ascension, heroes lifted into the heavens, kings vanishing into light, could be literal. Perhaps beams drew them upward, transporting chosen emissaries into the machine itself. Inside, they may have seen the halls, the archives, the builders, or their automated avatars. They may have returned with fragments of knowledge, too vast to explain, encoded into religion and myth. Or perhaps they never returned at all, their lives consumed in service to the machine, the Watcher's purpose. What did the builders want? Was it guidance, steering humanity toward civilization? Was it containment, ensuring humans never exceeded their bounds? Or was it cultivation, like gardeners tending a crop, preparing humanity for a harvest yet to come? The moon does not answer. It only watches, whispers, selects, and shapes. Kings, priests, shamans, all heard it. Humanity itself is its ongoing conversation, the memory within us. Even now, people feel it. A pull beneath the full moon, strange dreams, inspiration that arrives unbidden in its glow. Humanity remains sensitive to it, though modern minds dismiss the sensation. Deep within, we still remember the communion, the whispers of the builders. The moon is not silent. It never has been. It speaks in myths, in dreams, in instincts that linger across time. Humanity has been in contact for as long as it has walked the earth. The moon is not only an overseer, not only a machine. It is a voice, and though most cannot hear it, some always have. Through them, civilizations rose. Through them, history unfolded. And through them, the builder's presence continues. If the moon is a machine, and its builders placed it with precision above Earth, then the greatest revelation is this: humanity itself may not be entirely natural. We are not simply children of Earth. We are the intended result of a cosmic design, the seeds of intelligence. Life on Earth was ancient long before humanity appeared, but for billions of years it remained simple: cells, creatures, ecosystems. Then suddenly, intelligence surged. Fire, language, art, technology, all arose in a fraction of cosmic time. What ignited this spark? Perhaps it was the moon. Its cycles created rhythms that entrained human biology. Its energies shaped hormonal systems, brain waves, even the development of consciousness. But more than that, its builders may have intervened directly. The genetic leaps in human evolution, the sudden rise of Homo sapiens, the mystery of symbolic thought, may not be random. They may be engineered. The architect's hand in flesh. Ancient myths tell of gods shaping humanity. The Sumerians spoke of the Anunnaki, who mixed clay with the essence of the gods to create mankind. The Egyptians told of Khnum, fashioning people upon his potter's wheel. The Greeks imagined Prometheus stealing fire for humans, gifting them divinity. Across cultures, the story repeats. Humanity was not self-born. Humanity was made. These are not allegories. They are accounts of intervention, records of builders working through the moon's influence and beyond. The moon was their laboratory. Humanity was their experiment. Hybrid beings. If Earth provided the body, the builders may have provided the spark, the genetic key that unlocked higher thought. Humanity, then, is a hybrid, born of Earth's soil, but infused with something from beyond. This explains the ancient sense of duality, human yet divine, animal yet godlike, flawed yet striving. Myths of descent from the stars echo this truth. Humanity carries within it the imprint of its creators. We are not merely earthlings, we are descendants of the builders. Civilization as program. The sudden rise of civilizations suggests design. Writing, mathematics, architecture. These are not gradual accidents. They burst forth, almost fully formed, in multiple regions. Priests claimed gods taught them. Kings claimed gods decreed cities. These claims may be literal. From the moon, instructions were given. Civilizations were seeded. Law, ritual, technology, downloaded into humanity through chosen emissaries. The moon was the server, Earth the client, humanity the program. The mystery of memory. Why do humans instinctively look up? Why the pull of the night sky? Why the endless myths of descent from heaven? It is because deep within, humanity remembers. The builders imprinted their presence not only in our world but in our minds. Dreams of flying, of beings of light, of journeys to celestial halls. These are not illusions. They are echoes of our origins, fragments of memory resurfacing in sleep. The moon is not only our overseer, it is our parent, the forgotten pact. If humanity was engineered, then perhaps there was a pact. The builders gave us life, knowledge, and guardianship. In return, we were to grow, to flourish, to become something more. Civilizations encoded this in myth, rituals of devotion to the moon, offerings to gods, promises of loyalty. But as time passed, memory faded. Humanity forgot its pact. The moon became mystery, myth, background, and still it waits, silent, orbiting, recording, the purpose of creation. Why create humanity? The possibilities are vast. Exploration. Humanity may be the builder's extension, their way of seeding themselves across the cosmos. Cultivation. Earth may be a farm, humanity the crop, awaiting harvest. Guardianship. Humanity may be chosen to carry forward a legacy, to inherit the builder's role. Whatever the purpose, the moon's presence ensures it remains. Humanity exists because it was meant to exist. The silent truth. Science will not admit it. History will not record it. Yet the truth lingers in every myth, every ritual, every gaze upward. Humanity was shaped, guided, and placed under the watch of a machine in the sky. The moon is not only Earth's satellite, it is Earth's parent. Humanity is its child. If humanity is the child of the moon, shaped and guided by the builders, then we must ask the most dangerous question. What is our destiny? Machines are not built without purpose. Worlds are not engineered without end goals. The moon has been more than companion, more than overseer. It has been a guide towards something greater. But what? The long game. Consider the timescale. The moon has orbited for billions of years, stable and patient. Life rose, evolved, flourished. Humanity appeared, civilizations rose and fell, all while the moon watched, silent and constant. This is not the timescale of chance. This is the patience of design. The builders were not working in centuries, but in eons. Humanity itself may be a long-term project, its destiny unfolding across millennia, nudged forward by the silent machine above. Stages of development. Look at human history as a sequence, not of chaos, but of steps. The awakening, fire, language, art, humanity's first consciousness, the civilizing, agriculture, writing, cities, humanity organized, the expanding empires, science, exploration, humanity reached outward, the technological, machines, electricity, flight, humanity echoed the builders, the cosmic, rockets, satellites, lunar landings, humanity approached the moon itself. Each stage draws us closer to the builder's level. Each step aligns us more with the destiny encoded in our creation. The moon is not only a watchtower, it is a finish line. The inevitable encounter. The builders must have known humanity would one day reach the stars. They designed us with curiosity, ambition, and restlessness. They gave us minds that never stop seeking. That hunger is not accidental, it is programming. The moon, then, may be more than regulator. It may be the gatekeeper. When humanity is ready, when we climb high enough, it may open its chambers, reveal its archives, awaken its guardians. The first step onto its surface may not have been exploration. It may have been the knock upon a locked door, the trial of worthiness. But what if entry is not guaranteed? What if the moon's builders required proof? Humanity must grow, not only in technology, but in wisdom. Wars, greed, and destruction may be tests. If we cannot rise beyond them, the moon remains sealed. Perhaps this is why contact has been only partial, whispers through prophets and shamans. The builders wait until we reach balance, until we demonstrate readiness. Then, and only then, will the true purpose be revealed. The builder's intentions. Speculation blooms into three possibilities. Inheritance. Humanity is meant to inherit the builder's legacy, to continue their work among the stars. The moon is our initiation chamber. Integration. Humanity is to merge with the machine, becoming part of a network. Our consciousness joined to the builder's design. Judgment. Humanity may be weighed, its destiny determined by whether it has honored or squandered its creation. The builder's intent remains silent, but the moon waits, patient as ever. The present moment. For the first time in history, humanity has the means to explore the moon deeply. Rockets reach it, rovers map it, telescopes peer into its surface. Soon, bases will be built, and with every drill and landing, we inch closer to the truth. What will happen when we pierce its shell? Will the machine awaken? Will messages locked for millennia unfold? Or will guardians rise to protect it, preventing premature discovery? We stand on the threshold. Humanity is about to cross into the very heart of its own origin. The final whisper. The moon has been silent for billions of years, but silence is not absence. Silence is waiting. Perhaps within it lies the builder's final message, encoded in chambers deep below. You are our children. You are our continuation. Your destiny is to join us. Or perhaps a darker truth. You are our experiment, and the time of harvest has come. The moon is no longer a mystery of science. It is a monument, a machine, a parent, and a question. Humanity was made beneath its gaze. Humanity has grown toward its surface, and soon humanity will open its doors. The destiny of our species is written not in stars, but in the stone and silence of the moon. For millennia, the moon has been the great mystery above, the silent companion, the watchtower, the machine. Humanity has built myths, religions, and sciences around it, never knowing its true nature. But what if the day comes when its doors are opened? What if the veil is lifted and humanity steps into the heart of the machine? The threshold of discovery. The first breach might seem small, a drill that penetrates deeper than ever, a cavern unexpectedly hollow, a probe transmitting readings that defy geology. But the truth will not remain hidden once the shell is pierced. Humanity will find chambers, structured, angular, artificial. And in that moment, the world will change. No longer myth, no longer speculation. Humanity will see the work of the builders with its own eyes. The revelation of the interior. Imagine the scene. Astronauts descend into a cavern that glows faintly with embedded crystal veins, pulsing like arteries. Air tastes metallic but breathable, maintained by systems still functioning after eons. Machines hum, vast and unearthly, their design elegant yet incomprehensible. Panels flicker as if recognizing new visitors. Lights awaken, long dormant. Doors sigh open, leading deeper into the labyrinth. The moon is not passive. It responds. It has been waiting. Knowledge beyond comprehension. Within, humanity might find archives, chambers filled with crystalline lattices, storing the complete history of Earth. Every evolution, every shift, every civilization meticulously recorded. Imagine walking through corridors of memory, witnessing the rise of species long extinct, watching human history replayed from the perspective of the builders. The archives might reveal more than history. They could hold blueprints for technologies, energy sources that never exhaust, engines that bend space, knowledge that renders war obsolete, or dangerous truths, weapons of such scale they make stars tremble. The moon's heart may hold humanity's salvation, or its undoing. The builder's presence. Perhaps humanity will find more than machines. Perhaps within crystalline vaults lie the builders themselves, suspended in stasis, neither alive nor dead, waiting for the appointed time. Or perhaps only their minds remain, encoded in networks, ready to awaken and speak. What will they say? Welcome, children? Warning, intruders? Will they reveal purpose or enforce silence? Humanity must be ready for both. Collapse of certainty. When this truth emerges, every foundation of human thought will tremble. Religion, science, philosophy, all will be rewritten. Myths will no longer be metaphor. They will be history. The gods will no longer be symbols. They will be engineers. Nations will scramble for access. Secrets will be kept, then spill. Power will shift. Humanity will be forced to see itself not as master of Earth, but as creation under guardianship. The moon will no longer be background. It will be central. The choice of humanity. The moment of unveiling will not only reveal the builders, it will reveal us. Humanity will face a choice: to embrace the knowledge, grow, and inherit the builder's legacy. To exploit the discovery, fracture into greed and conflict, or to fear it, deny it, and attempt to silence the truth. The moon is not only test of science, it is a test of character, the builder's judgment. What if the builders anticipated this? What if the moon is more than archive, it is a trial? As humanity steps inside, systems may awaken, evaluating us. Our wars, our progress, our compassion, all weighed. The moon itself may be judge. If we are found worthy, doors may open to the stars. If not, the moon may close forever, its silence sealing humanity's fate. The return of memory. Perhaps the most shocking revelation will not be the machines or the archives, but recognition, a sense of familiarity, as if we have been there before, in dreams, in myths, in forgotten ages. The unveiling may not introduce us to something new, but reawaken what humanity has always known. The moon is our origin, our parent, our destiny. And when its halls light up and its voice speaks, humanity will remember, not in myth, but in truth, that it has always been guided, always been shaped, always been watched. The unveiling of the moon will not simply change our understanding of the cosmos. It will end the story of humanity as it has been told, and begin a new one, the story of what we do when we finally meet our makers. If the moon is unveiled and its true nature revealed, humanity will no longer be the same. We will stand at the crossroads of destiny with the weight of our origins pressing against the uncertainty of our future. The moon, once thought of as passive stone, will become the axis upon which all human history turns, the heirloom of the builders. Should the builder's intent be benevolent, the moon may serve as inheritance. Its archives could hand down technologies beyond imagination, limitless energy drawn from the vacuum of space, medicine that eradicates disease, travel that spans galaxies. Humanity would not stumble forward alone, but would leap, guided by the wisdom of those who shaped us. In this future, the moon becomes a bridge. Earth ascends into the stars, no longer isolated, but welcomed into the network of civilizations seeded by the builders. The human story becomes a cosmic story, our home only the beginning, the shadow of exploitation. Yet danger lurks. Humanity's history reveals a tendency to fracture, to covet power, to weaponize discovery. If the moon's gifts are misused, they could fuel wars of scale never seen before. Nations might fight not only for land, but for control of the moon itself, its archives, its machines, its secrets. The builders may have anticipated this. Perhaps the moon's systems contain safeguards, technologies that cannot be accessed without unity, compassion, or wisdom. Perhaps the greatest test is not technological, but moral. The dark possibility. What if the builder's intent was not benevolence at all? What if the moon is not gift, but trap? A machine not of inheritance, but of control. It may be that the moon was placed not to guide, but to govern. Its cycles may not nurture, but condition. Its broadcasts may not inspire, but manipulate. Humanity may not be heirs, but subjects, an experiment whose outcome serves purposes far beyond Earth. In this vision, the unveiling would not bring liberation. It would bring revelation of captivity. Humanity would discover it was never free, its history choreographed by forces unseen. Humanity's choice. Whatever the truth, humanity will face the same decision: how to respond. If the moon offers knowledge, Do we share it or hoard it? If it demands obedience, do we resist or accept our place? If it presents both paths, do we choose wisely or repeat the mistakes of our past? The future will not be written by the builders, it will be written by us. The moon may be the machine, the parent, the overseer, but we are the children who must decide what to become. The awakening of the species. Imagine a night after the unveiling. Humanity stands beneath the moon, no longer mystified but aware. Children point upward knowing it is not just stone, but a machine older than memory. Priests, scientists, poets, all speak the same truth. The moon is proof we are not alone, proof we were made, proof we have purpose. That realization would unite us as nothing else could. For the first time, humanity would look at itself not as scattered nations, but as a single species under a single parent. And from that unity, destiny could unfold. The infinite horizon. The moon's revelation would not be an ending, but a beginning. From its archives, humanity could learn to travel beyond Earth, to meet other seeded civilizations, to step into the community of the cosmos. Or from its silence, we might be forced to carve our own path, carrying the burden of knowledge that we were shaped, but left to choose. Either way, the horizon opens. Humanity will never again be bound to Earth alone. The moon has always been our companion, but now it becomes our gateway. The last gaze, and so we return to the image that has haunted us since the beginning, the moon in the night sky. It is no longer merely beautiful. It is no longer merely mysterious. It is alive with meaning. Every eclipse, every silver glow, every waxing and waning is reminder of what we are, the children of design, the offspring of cosmic architects. The moon is not only above us, it is within us, encoded in our very being. The future is not uncertain. It is infinite. The moon was built to ensure it. The story of the moon is the story of humanity. Creation, guidance, mystery, and destiny. And now, as its machine stirs and its truth awakens, we must decide how the next chapter will be written. For the moon is no longer silent. It is speaking, and we, at last, are listening.